Did you say to Mr. McFarlane, that's not the truth?
I don't have a specific recollection of that conversation.
Are you saying that you decided it was appropriate to put out a false version of the facts, or are you saying that you decided it was appropriate to follow Mr. McFarlane's instructions?
I am saying that I decided that I would continue to participate in preparing a version of the chronology, not necessarily what would be the final historical internal version, but a version of the chronology that was inaccurate. I did participate in that activity, wittingly and knowingly.
Why did North win the award?
At the beginning of his testimony, he said that he was a stand-up guy. He was there to tell the truth, the good, the bad, and the ugly. This is this version of the truth. I didn't lie. I just didn't make the record accurate. I didn't put in the accuracy. I didn't make the record fulsome. I mean, all of this is not exactly the hallmark of a stand-up guy telling the truth, the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Okay, we have another clip from 1986 when the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded. Give us a little background on that.
As the subsequent hearings revealed, the language used by the administrators and the engineers involved in the Space Shuttle program is a language of jargon, obfuscation, plausible deniability, avoiding responsibility. It's a language that, although it appears to be very technical and accurate, says nothing, and indeed contributed significantly to the accident itself.
Okay, let's take a look at that one.
Flight controllers here looking very carefully at the situation. Obviously a major malfunction.
The key issue here was whether it was too cold to launch. Those are the people from Rockwell International, the prime contractor, being sworn in.
At the 9 o'clock meeting, I was asked by Arnie Aldrich, program manager, to give him the results of our analysis, and I essentially told him what I just told you and felt that we did not have a sufficient database to absolutely assure that nothing would strike the vehicle, so we could not lend our 100% credence, if you will, to the fact that it was safe to fly.
Did you convey to them in a way that they were able to understand that you were not approving the launch from your standpoint?
I felt that by telling them we did not have a sufficient database and could not analyze the trajectory of the ice, I felt he understood that Rockwell was not giving a positive indication that we were for the launch.
Now we're about to hear the response from NASA.
My interpretation of the input that was made to me in the mission management team meeting that I described is that a concern was voiced, and it was not an objection to launch. And I think the people that were in that meeting from Rockwell intended to offer me that concern, but they did not intend to ask me not to launch.
If the decision-making process is such that the prime contractor thinks he objected and testified under oath that they took a position it was unsafe to launch, and you say that was not our understanding, that shows a serious deficiency in the process.
The next day, another NASA official, Larry Malloy, testified.
I didn't hear a single engineer say it's unsafe to fly 51L. What I heard those engineers saying was talking to their data. They were talking to their data, and they were talking to their lack of data, and they were giving engineering opinion, which they have stated that they cannot quantify.
And coming up is Roger Beaujolais, the engineer with Morton Thiokol.
I was asked to quantify my concerns, and I said I couldn't. I couldn't quantify it. I had no data to quantify it, but I did say I knew that it was away from goodness in the current database.
Away from goodness?
Yes, this is a complete breakdown in communication. I'm sure that he was using language that he thought said something, but clearly it meant nothing to those who heard it, and as a result, no communication took place. Instead of simply saying, the O-rings are probably bad, or this is not a good situation, guys, we better not launch, he used language instead that we found out was very common among the people in the whole Challenger system that said nothing but appeared to communicate.
All right, now we're going to devote the rest of the program to a piece that you prepared.
I think what we'll see now is examples of doublespeak that go from the silly to the sublime, from the ridiculous to the deadly. I was reading the auto classifieds when I saw an advertisement for pre-owned cars. Sounded like doublespeak for used cars, so I thought I'd check it out. Let's go see what a pre-owned car looks like. I see in the used car advertisement section of the paper, you advertise pre-owned cars. Can you tell me what the difference is between a pre-owned car and a used car?
Well, I think the difference is that what we feel, a used car is a used car lot, and it's recognized that's what you should look for, a used car lot. In our particular line, why we feel they're pre-owned, which means that they are high class, high quality, and that's the type of cars we feel we would like to sell to people.
Thank you, and goodbye.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Mission accomplished. We moved on to that hotbed of doublespeak, that den of linguistic iniquity, the shopping mall. There, we uncovered the secret language of large-sized women's clothing. At Bradley's department store, the euphemism of choice was plus size. In the back of the store, you have a department with a big sign that says plus size.
Right.
What would I find if I went back there shopping?
Larger sizes of feminine apparel for women.
Okay. What kind of women would go shopping there?
The larger than normal size ladies.
I searched the store for more examples. Why would I want to buy imported polyester over domestic polyester? Or do I want to?
The magic of the word imported.
Ah, so it helps sell the product better?
Sure does.
Okay. Here in the supermarket, things begin to get more serious. After all, we have to eat this stuff. Natural juice apple pie, just like Mom used to make. And Mom used sodium benzoate, BHA acid, artificial colors and flavors, modified food starch, malic acid, bisulfate, sodium. Mom never cooked like that. All natural, light, home style. What do the words mean? They don't mean much. Yet every product in the store seems to have one of those words on it. This isn't communicating. This isn't what language is supposed to do, to tell us something. This is the doublespeak of food, and it's all around you in the store. Just when I thought the worst was behind me, I learned that the checkout person's official job title was Price Integrity Coordinator. Pretentious job titles are a cheap way for businesses to boost morale and attract new labor. Just because you have a fancy job title doesn't necessarily mean you're going to keep that job. When it comes time to fire employees or lay them off, corporations have invented an entire list of doublespeak terms. Employees are never fired. They're dehired, released, or placed out. Or corporations will eliminate redundancies in the human resources area. Last year, when General Motors decided to close an entire assembly plant, it announced a volume-related production schedule adjustment.